There's a website you can go to.
Here's Suzette.
Search Jordan Lake water pen.
So you have a pretty strong pull. You're moving through the water well. Your body position is good. Your hips and legs are just slightly low. And we address that by sort of having you look down a little more. Your forward reach is good. There's a little bit of room for improvement. Almost every swim lesson I give, I can see room for improvement there, but you want to reach and then reach a little more, for lack of a better phrase. You sort of hyperextend your lats, and if your shoulder, basically when you're at the apex of the reach, you want your shoulder to be rubbing your chin or your ear, one or the other, and if it's not, there's room for improvement. So you can see there's a little space in between your head and your shoulder when you're reaching forward. That's how I can determine that. Your streamline is good. Your hips and legs stay in the same line as your torso. And you have very little kick going on. We talked about that. So, just a little bit of a effective kick is something that's going to help you. Looking down instead of straight ahead is also going to help with body position. You don't have to look straight down, but looking a little more down, because at the moment you're looking pretty much straight forward. So rotation is alright. Could be a bit better. You would work on that through, better extension. But streamline's fine. Your head is high in the water as it is now, but it's not coming up anymore when you turn to breathe, so that's good. Keeping your head just a little bit lower, I think, is going to help. A very even, sort of fluid stroke. You're doing a good job of reaching pretty much right in front of your shoulder. It doesn't look like you're crossing in or in front of your head at all. And then if you watch your hand pull through the water on both sides, left side looks like it's a straight line back, and right side might just be a little wide. You're going just a bit wider. That's probably in the acceptable range of pulling lines, but you just have a bit of an out pull at the beginning. So here, I'm trying to figure out what type of stroke you have. If you recall, the elbow slip, a straight arm pull, or a high elbow catch. And I'd say your left arm is more of a straight arm, so upper arm and forearm essentially staying at one angle as you pull through the stroke. Right arm here, also mostly a straight arm. The elbow might be bringing or coming back. The elbow might be slipping slightly, is the word I'm looking for, where your elbow starts returning back towards your torso before your hand and forearm have really gone up and down, whereas your left arm, you do get to a sort of straight up and down with your hand and forearm about a third of the way into the stroke. It's going to be easier to see on the frame by frame, which is at the end of the video. So both arms are good, could be better. The high elbow catch is really what you want to move towards. And here you have a bit of a kick going. You can see your hips and legs are not terribly low. I think they could be a little higher. I think looking down more is going to address a lot of that. Having maybe a bit more of an effective kick, kicking from the hip, is going to help. And here, just watching what your hands do as you pull through. So left line pretty much straight back, that's good. The right goes out and then in a bit, so maybe try to pull that arm straight back as opposed to swinging wide.
So
if that makes sense.
Just head position. looking down slightly. Raise the hips and legs a bit, and you can see a difference here. So go back to the initial one and you'll see that your hips and legs were a little lower. This is working on a bit of extra reach.
And so here, working on the reach, you can see there's less space in between your shoulder and your head. There's still some on that left side, but you look a little longer each time you're reaching forward. So what happens when you do that? A, you become slightly more streamlined, and B, you're going to pull more water with each stroke, both of which are going to make you faster. Here you have one arm drill. So this is working on the catch. If you recall our discussion, you reach forward first, and then to really get a good high elbow catch, you have to shrug the shoulder internally or roll the shoulder over. So the motion really starts with a shoulder roll.
That's good.
It can also, does sort of hyperextend your lat on that side. So two ways to think of it: shoulder shrug or stretch out the lat. Operationally, they're sort of the same. Here you can see you're getting some good catch. Try to keep your hand and your forearm more or less one line. They work together. So looking at the left arm pull here, good entry, extension. Nice streamline there. Just a bit of room for improvement with the extension. And then if you look at the upper arm and forearm angle, essentially one line here. So that's why I call it a straight arm. Whereas the high elbow, your upper arm would still be extended forward. Your hand and your forearm would be vertical, or early vertical forearm in the stroke. So the difference there is with the straight arm pull, first 20-30% of your stroke are directionally pushing water down. With the early vertical forearm or high elbow catch, more of that water will be going backwards, also known as your body going forwards. So right arm, entry, extension, streamline, all pretty good here. And then upper arm, forearm angle, still sort of one straight line there. Getting a little bit of a curvature there, so getting a bit of a catch angle here, but notice how the elbow's coming back while the hand and forearm haven't really gone entirely vertical. So key piece of that is getting your hand and forearm straight up and down. That's how you create all the leverage on the water to go forward quickly. I hope that helps. Thank you.